Okay, so this is a really quick development update on what I've been working on, which is right now the GitHub browser component. So some of you might know my OLib browser component, which is more or less confined to the OLib itself. And I worked now on, I was thinking about, okay, how can we use GitHub here? Because the point kind of is that a lot of people and developers are using GitHub, and trying to force them to use the OLib can be kind of annoying. The good thing about the OLib is I have more or less full control about it, but on the other hand, I have full control about it. So bringing or bringing a tool that people can use, that they are like using tools that they are familiar with, is definitely quite a big or a good thing. So let's see how this works. So I open the browser. So the UI definitely far from anything nice, but it's usable for now. So what you can see here is you can see repositories. So initially we are browsing repositories. In this case, function store was nice enough to help me a little bit by setting one flag, and this is the good thing about this one. It's like it's not disrupting any other workflow. And let's see what happens if we press on it. So for example, we select one of these repositories, and then you can see there's a category. So the default category is default, as it says. I will explain later how to get here. So we click it, and then down here you can see all of the releases that were made. So we can see the version, so the release tag. We can see the release notes just in one line. So this is something that has to be worked out. And we can already see how many assets there are. So if we click on this here, we can already see, okay, we have a toe and a tox file. So, and if we press this one, we see, okay, it's just a tox file. So let's see. So for example, here we have the tweener, and this is one of the things that's not working perfectly, but so I select the category, in this case default again, select the release, and as you can already see, we have two files in here. We have a tox file and we have a py file. So okay, what is the py file doing? Actually, what the py file is doing is it's allowing us to ship code completion, and so basically ship stubs that we can use in VS Code. So let's try that. Let's press this button. As I said, the UI is still quite beta. And then let's press the tweener tox here, and as you can see, it downloaded it, and I can just place it. It will, because I have some bad manners here. So okay, global operator shortcut. So how is this interesting now? Because we downloaded the py file here, I can open a text here, and let's make this one to Python, and let's edit this. And now if we look in here, so this is my file, my repository, you can see that here's a folder called typings, and a PYI file called built-ins, and here we have the external tweener. So right now it's like just straight up the extension class file. But let's go back to our .text. So what we can do now is we can say our tweener. Our tweener now is, if we just type in ext tweener, and you can already see how is it knowing that. It's because of using the typings and the built-ins here. So let's do that, and let's say op tweener, which is this one here. Okay, and now what we can do is when we press, when we select tweener and press, we have like complete code completion. So we know, like, okay, clear fade, we have the constructor, we have create tween, we have the fade step, like all all of the information that we need. So let's say absolute tween. And again, we have like this whole parameters. We know the end value, which currently is any, but this also translates using the stubs that tech, for example, made. So the problem now is, of course, just as a little trick. So now if we run the script, we will get an error because, of course, TouchDesigner doesn't know what an ext tweener is. But this isn't a big problem because we can just put it into quotation marks. And now if we save this and try this again and say run script, we no longer get an error. So putting the type hints into the quotation mark just like is very clear about, hey, this is really only for type hinting, for auto-completion purposes. Okay, let's check another one. So here we have dev utils. And the thing is, there are a lot of smaller components that we can't just make a repository for every component. No one of us works like this. There are elements that are bigger that definitely need that, but in the end, we like to put components into single. We like to put several components into one repository. So this is why I came up with this category idea. So we can press it, and we can see, okay, we have the dig parser, we go into callback manager, and we have the callback manager. So we have like this 3-step process, which is much slower compared to the OLED browser, but on the other hand, it's much more flexible. Okay, so how can we do that? It's quite simple. We go to GitHub, and there are 2 things that you have to consider. So one thing is, how can I find it in the OLED browser? Simply go in your repository to the About page and press this little bar here, and then you can easily just create a topic. And right now the topic that I'm searching for is TD OLED project. That might change, but to be honest, if people start doing that now, it's not a problem. Second is categories. So if we go to our releases, then you can see I have file downloader, and then I simply put in the a $sign. So a $sign is like the separator between the version and the category. So here we have, if we check here, we have a file downloader in the web utils. But in theory, if we would check for my dev utils, then we would have 2 releases, one with a dig parser and one with callback manager. One thing to keep in mind right now is that there's only 30 releases, I think. So just like putting 100 components into releases won't work right here. But you can also just like take several components, like several toxes, and just put them into one release. That wouldn't be a problem, because here I'm looking at all of them. I think it's also limited to 30 right now, but this will definitely be expanded in the future. So yeah, another nice thing also is that it will it will download straight to your palette. So you have my components, you have GitHub, then you have the creator, and then here you have the components that you can also just throw in there. So this is not working for the typings. You have to download the typings manually, but I'm also going to create a utility for developers in the dev utils that you can use in the long run. So yeah, I mean, basically, if you're interested in showing up there, the only thing you really have to do is you have to create this topic, TD OLED project. That's it.